Hey, Slosh, how you do, Buckaroos? How the heck are you? I thought I'd come at you one more time this fine Saturday. I'm not sure why I went into AM radio voice, but sometimes I do for no apparent reason. Anyways, how the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. Had a nice day today. Went out a little earlier, met some friends for some beers. Then came home, had some dinner, took a nap. Take a little nap. I had to take a pause for the cause, man. But then I come back and have one or two, one more beer, one more whiskey with you anyway. Let's see if this is working here real quick. I have to adjust my privacy here. It automatically puts it at somewhere. I have to go back and change it. So only friends can see me. Unless somebody else reposts the video, then it can go out to anybody. But you do this as long as I have done this, and you're gonna, make some enemies along the way, as I have. If you dare to have opinions on such things, anyway. Uh, I don't know that I go so far as to say that I'm polarizing, but some might. Some might go that far. I don't know that I would, but some might. Anyways, so I had a friend give me this whiskey. He brought it to a tasting yesterday. There was some left. He just said, "Let me take home the rest of the bottle." Thanks, Argare and Crystal. I really appreciate it too. It's very nice. It's a 6 and 20 Old Money wheat whiskey out of South Carolina. It's 80 proof. So there's just a little bit left here. So typically I do measure, but I'm just gonna pour what's left in here because I'm guessing there's about 2 solid ounces left. So I'm gonna set this off to the side. The bottle, that is, not the whiskey glass. Put the bottle back, Doc. Sláinte. Very nice whiskey, but it is rather subtle. It's not a good thing or necessarily a bad thing. I'm just telling you what it is. It's a rather subtle whiskey, which is why I would, for me, for this whiskey, I would only drink it neat. I wouldn't put it on the rocks. I wouldn't try to cocktail it because I think you're going to lose it. You're going to lose those subtleties that really makes this a nice whiskey if you try to add anything to it or detract from it. It's got a very nice nose, a little bit sweet, vanilla, just a hint of spice on the nose. The sweetness, I'm going to say just a little bit of a very light brown sugar. And when I say light, I mean light brown. I mean as in a very light molasses note. The difference between light and dark brown sugar. I really like it though. It's very nice. This is a wheat whiskey, not a wheat bourbon, but a wheat whiskey. So keep that in mind. They do tend to be a little more subtle than their bourbon counterparts. Wheat whiskeys tend to be a little sweet, have a very soft body. Which again, oh, that's gorgeous. Which again tends to make them a little bit subtle. They're not a bold in your face whiskey. It means you got to be patient. You might have to try a little harder. I'm gonna set that down for a second. I'm gonna pick this beer up. So the beer I am what beer are you drinking, Tom? I'm having the Plainview Pilsner from Banter Brewing out of Springfield, Missouri. That's why I'm using my drink local glass because I'm drinking local as far as the beer is concerned, anyway. And it's lunch. Oh, fuck nuggets and gravy. Man, that's delicious. Oops, hit that hit that button wrong. There we go. Anyways, anyways, I digress. But I digress, man. Let's listen to some music before I turned the video on here. I just put a random Spotify mix on. It was hitting a lot of bands that I really liked, though. A lot of bands that I was a few bands that I've recently discovered. Most, more obscure or regional rather than national. Seven Horse, that's a band I recently discovered. I really like these guys, man. It's a duo, I guess. I didn't realize that until I started doing some research on them. Looked up if they were doing any tour dates near me. They are not. Unfortunately, most of the tour dates are in Europe, but I really like that band. I wish they get to my neck of the woods. The other one is the Quaker City Nighthawks. I really like those guys. I believe they're out of Texas, but again, nothing, no tour dates near my neck of the woods. So I was kind of bummed every time I look up, and oh, damn. Oh, not you guys, too. Anyways, CC Adcock, I was looking up. I recently found him from watching the recent remake of, or maybe remake is the wrong word, reboot of Roadhouse. He had his band had several or a few songs in there that I really liked. So I was looking up to see if they were doing any tour dates, but I couldn't find any tour dates at all. Just kind of bummed about this. Damn, where are you people? I'm bummed, man. I don't go out to see as much live music as I used to. I won't say that I don't know. If I'm being honest, I guess I don't want to enjoy it as much as I used to, but I just don't enjoy having to fight for it, right? Last year, the last big show I went to was on my birthday last year. I went and saw Saxon and Uriah Heep. And the reason I went to that show is because, well, it was directly, I mean, it was on my birthday, but I was able to get a seat, a VIP seat. And so, that's kind of where I am at this point in my life is I'm not doing a general admission. I'm not doing SRO shows. I don't do them anymore. I'm going to fight for anything. I don't want to be herded in like cattle. Not only do I want to buy a seat, is I want a VIP offering. Not that I'm a rich guy, because I'm not. I'm very poor. But if I'm going to do a show, I'm going to do it right. If rather than do 10 shows a year, I just want to do one. and I want the VIP thing. I want the right chair. I want the meet and greet. I mean, I want the whole package right now. That's kind of where I'm at this stage of my life at almost 60. Is yeah, if I'm going to spend the money to go to a show, I want to enjoy. I don't want to just be there with everybody else. I want to make sure I can enjoy it to the fullest. Because that show, that Uriah Heep Saxon show is so amazing. Is that, I mean, you did this meet and greet, and I mean, every band member was so glad to see, or they seem like they're probably acting. I get it, but I mean, everybody was shaking your hand and signing whatever you want them to sign, and having a conversation. It was just, I mean, for me, on my 59th birthday, man, it was just, man, it was just incredible. I just enjoyed everything about that show. So again, for me, if I'm going to do anything else, it's going to be just like that. I mean, I not only want to buy a seat, make sure I have a seat. I want the VIP package, and my funds are limited, so I mean, it can't be crazy. But I mean, if, again, I'm going to do one show. I'm just going to do one. But if I'm going to see anybody, it's going to be that way. I'm not going to do general admission anymore. There's a lot of shows I passed on because of that. I don't want to do general admission. I want to do standing room only shows. I just won't do it. It's not fun anymore. I want to be able to relax, enjoy the show. The great another, the Uriah Heep Saxon show was awesome. The Galois Theater where it was held. So you waited for a while to get in to do the VIP. We did that, and then it was a while before the actual show started. But right next door, there's a whole hallway inside the auditorium that takes you to a little, American version of an Irish pub called Dublin's Paso. Well, while other folks stood in line while the folks stood in line to get a beer from this particular venue, I just walked my little happy ass into Dublin's Pass, sat down, had two beers, and went in, watched watched Saxon play, enjoyed the show. Didn't buy any beers. Now I don't need a beer. I'm enjoying the show. I'm not walking back, and I'm not leaving that auditorium. I'm sitting down and I'm enjoying my show. So I watched Saxon play, and then in the intermission. So then again, while everybody was running as fast as I could to get to the lines in this particular venue, I just walked again through that hallway and walked right into Dublin's Pass, sat down at the bar, ordered a beer, took my time, drank the beer, walked back. There were still folks waiting in line. Walked to my seat, and a few minutes later, the show started again. So, I mean, it was beautiful. Never got in a hurry. It was just, I mean, everything about that particular night was wonderful for me. So anyway, yeah, if I'm gonna do another show, it's gonna be just like that. I mean, I mean, probably can't live up to that expectation, but the idea is that I want a seat, I want to meet and greet, I want some, I want pictures. Like I've got behind me my Uriah Heep. I mean, I want to do the whole VIP process. I don't want to be herded in like cattle. I just, I mean, I'm not, you know, 18 to 25 anymore. I'm not doing any of that nonsense. I won't do any SRO shows. I'm a beer guy. I don't even do beer festivals anymore. I'm done. I'm done with being herded like cattle. I want to sit down and enjoy whatever it is I want to enjoy, whether it be beer, whiskey, or music. I am not, I'm not going to stand for a damn thing anymore. Anyways, I digress. I've got friends who disagree with me, and that's okay. I mean, if you still want to do that, I don't have an issue with you doing it. I'm just not going to. I just don't find that enjoyable anymore. I don't. There was a time. I mean, I spent a lot of time in my youth, even in my 40s, even going to see bands and that kind of thing. And I love listening to live music still. It just now at almost 60, it has to be on my terms, man. If I'm going to do anything at all, it's going to be done right. I just don't need to go to 100 shows, right? I don't need to buy 100 bottles of whiskey. I don't need to buy a whole lot of beer. I want to buy the right beer, the right whiskey, go to the right shows where I can just relax. I just want to enjoy with whatever I have left. I want to see, I want to enjoy it to the fullest. Like I said, that Saxon Uriah Heep show is so amazing, and it was because I was able to do it on my terms, my way. Bought the seat I wanted to see. I mean, I bought the seat that I wanted to be able to see the concert. I bought the meet and greet because I've been a fan of both bands since I was a kid, so I really wanted to do that, and because I knew I'd never get that opportunity again. And I am thankful that I was able to. My wife said, so I asked my wife, said, "Do you mind if I do this? Because it's going to cost us some amount of money, and it's rather significant." She says, "Do I have to go?" I said, "No." She says, "Then you can go." So that was pretty much the caveat, as long as she didn't have to sit through it. But I did appreciate the fact that she was okay with me spending the amount of money I did to just do the show my way on my terms. Because I mean, I wasn't going to do it without her saying it. I didn't necessarily need her permission, but I wanted her to be okay with it because it was. I mean, it's our money, it's joint. So, are you okay with me doing this? And I think that's important too, is to, you know, being on equal footing with your partner. And I would like to say it's 50-50, but it's probably not because I probably do more things that I want to do than she does that she wants to do. But it's, I would like to think it evens out in the wash, but it probably favors me more. Because I'm probably a little more demanding than she is. But anyway, nevertheless, yeah, that one was kind of important to me because it was. I mean, the fact of the matter was, if the show would have been on the day before or the day after my birthday, I probably wouldn't even thought about going. But the fact that it landed directly on my birthday, it was like to me anyway, it was a sign. Right? You got to go to. It was a moral imperative at that point. Well, as soon as those tickets became available to the public, I bought it. But it's something we talked about first. So it wasn't one of those better to ask forgiveness and permission moments, right? It was one of those, okay, you better make sure this is gonna be okay. Because it might not have seemed like a lot of money to some folks, but for us, it was pretty significant. So but when I got in there, man, to meet those band members, oh god! I mean, for me, it was like I was 18 again, right? I mean, I just fell back to being a kid, and looking at these guys was like you go to a movie where somebody sees somebody they're of an age, all of a sudden you see them as they were younger. That's how it was for me at that moment. It was like I met to Biff, the lead singer of a Saxon, and for me, we went back to being the younger version of himself, and so did I. So I went back to being that kid again. And the keyboard player. So the keyboard player for Uriah Heep wasn't the regular keyboard player. The regular keyboard player wasn't available, so they had somebody else in his place. The person in his place happened to be, I can't remember the first name now, it's eluding me, but he's the son of legendary Yes keyboardist Rick Wakeman. No, well, I say Yes keyboardist. Rick Wakeman did a lot of solo stuff. Also played with Elton John and a whole lot of other artists, but he's probably most known for his work with Yes. But I was talking to this guy and we were having a conversation, and then he said his name, but it didn't click right away. We were talking. I said, and then we was talking about where he just did this and this. Tell me your name again. So and so Wakeman. Rick Wakeman's your dad. I was like, holy crap, man. And then so when the set started and I'm watching this guy play, I'm saying, "Oh my God, here I am watching the son of a legend, and the man is just as good as his dad was." I mean, again, there were just a lot of reasons that show was just so perfect for me. Back in the '80s, I wanted to be a keyboard player. I just lacked talent. I liked a little drive too. I'm going to be a little bit honest, but I became good at what I did, but I was never going to be great. I didn't have the fingers for it, but watching somebody like that, oh man, that was amazing. It was just, again, the Saxon part. Saxon was more in my wheelhouse than Uriah Heep, in all honesty. But both bands were perfect. They were both tight. Nobody made a mistake. It was just amazing. And Galois had been criticized in the past for having sound issues, and they were absolutely perfect that night. I mean, everything about that show was amazing. So, anyways, I digress. So I'm going to wrap this up. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor, wisdom, man. Ah, I'm also Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific drinker, purveyor, wisdom, man. All right, good guys. Lunch